It's a good day. It's a new day. Yes, it's Monday. It would have to be the sixth day in the month of November 2023. Welcome to a good week. This week is a good week. I insist it's a good week. Oh, yes. Just before I get into the headlines, a quick notice now. I must say this very quickly. Those who go out early morning jogging, what else should I call it now? Jogging, crossing the road, walking on the road, please. I think it's important. I don't know whether you guys drive or no, you've ever been driven in the dark. A lot of the cars don't see people who jog. And if you're jogging, please, if you have reflectives that you can put on any part of your body, legs or arms, so just something to help to identify in the dark that it's a human being jogging. I watched this morning, the car in front of me practically almost hit a guy who was jogging between the pavement. And I do not mean the pedestrian part of the road. It was jogging in between the road, that pavement that separates the two sides of the road. It was jogging right there, not on top of it, but down where the cars usually drive through. It was facing the oncoming vehicle. The guy was jogging literally there. And the other man swerved just at the last moment. I was just thinking about it. Does this guy really think the drivers can see him just because the lights are on? Trust me, it's tough. Considering that sometimes on Monday morning, half of Abuja drivers are just waking up. They know where they go this weekend. I'm just not saying anything. Okay, I'm coming. Let me read the headlines for you.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I'm ready. Let's take on the biggest debates on radio, provide insights, experience, and build an unforgettable discussion together. I am Femi D. Amele.
Live on 95.1 with Femi D Live, Nigeria Info, Abuja. Let's talk.
All right, I must say good morning to you once again. How are you? I'm Femi Diamele. Let's take a look at some of the biggest stories as we have them across the headlines for today. Do you remember the stories that have been published under the editorial guide of various publishers? And we on Nigeria Info are only informing you of the headlines as we have them for today. Somebody said, Femi D, would you do football mockery? That's what they call it now. That on Monday morning, I always mock everybody about how their team performed over the weekend. The results were not so bad now this weekend. Yeah, just not so bad. Okay, Arsenal did play against, was it this weekend that Arsenal lost 1-0? Is it my eye? I did not know. I'm just saying. Just saying. Oh, dear. What a weekend it was. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1. Thank God there was a victory for that team. They needed desperately. Brentford against West Ham was 3-2. Manchester City, the a.k.a. former noisy neighbors, now the City takers. Manchester City against Bournemouth was 6-1. Sheffield Wolves was 2-1. Burnley against Crystal Palace 2-0 in favour of Crystal Palace. Everton Brighton was 1-1. Newcastle 1. Arsenal 0. Nottingham Forest 2. Aston Villa 0. Luton Town 1. Liverpool 1. Tottenham Chelsea takes place later on tonight. I will see how all that goes around. La Liga 2 was good, but because of time, let me not go into that. I'll leave that for the sports team when they come along to let you in. But, there's just this something about starting Monday with small, just touching somebody's body in the wrong places. Remind you, I'm just teasing. All right, let's review stories as we have them from Vanguard, Nigerian Pilot, The Guardian, Daily Trust, and Leadership newspaper for today, okay? The stories have been put together under their own editorial rights. So please take good understanding of those stories by getting the chance to read them as soon as you can, okay? From Vanguard now, Forex gains. Banks' profits balloon by 156% to 2.3 trillion naira. Alleged buyers. IGP to redeploy Imo CP. CBN Governor Cardoso vows to fight inflation. By the way, we're speaking at an event organized by the former Emir of Kano, former CBN Governor Sanusi, alongside with other bankers and investment experts there. All right, so alignments are starting to show up. Okay, that's just me saying that. Abuja hotels tighten security amid U.S. Embassy security alert. NDLEA bus drug cartel seizes 14.4 million pills of opioids in Lagos raids. Bloody weekend in Benue as 22 killed in rival gang war. Alleged bias. IGP to redeploy Imo CP. Why Nigerians should kiss free, fair and credible elections goodbye, says Modo. Economy, more Nigerians selling off cars to feed family. Timeless memory art exhibition holds. Other stories of interest: 5 days to Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi governorship polls. Imo Giba now, Achono charges INEC on coalition rules adherence. Kogi, Bayelsa, Imo, Giba, IGP orders distribution of 220 operational vehicles for security. Bayelsa Giba now intervened before supporters resort to self-defense and group, that's according to a group urging the IGP. Appeal Court affirms election of Chinedu as Igbo PDP rep. Bayelsa poll, we're ready. INEC security agencies declare. In paradigm shifts now, Adeleke plans 45 major roads, 5 flyover bridges without loan. Governor Yusuf versus Gawuna. Tension in Kano as Appeal Court hears case tomorrow. Okay, that's likely today now. My molested 4-year-old daughter deserves justice. That's baby Irimade's mother crying out. Obasanjo, well cultured, once prostrated for me, says Oluwo of Iwoland. Attack on NLC president in Imo State. Okay, there's a video about that as well. U.S. mayor and pastor Buba Copeland commits suicide after his cross-dressing photos hit the internet. Dozens of terrorists killed in Gaza, Israeli army. New revelations on Just Kidney saga, doctor, clinic operator charged. Lagos stops 50% cut in transport fares, reverts to old fares. All right, well, these are some of the stories here and there. Drake, Jennifer Lopez, orders join artists for ceasefire, appeal over Israel-Hamas war. Wizkid announces break from music, considers career in sports. All right, well, these are just stories as one would find in Vanguard for today. Nigerian pilot now. Imo rep sits, appeal court affirms LP's Nwogo's victory. PCI condemns assault on NLC president, demands prosecution of perpetrators. Nigeria can revert to its totalitarianism past. CBTU condemns police assault on NLC President Ajero. FEC approves 2.17 trillion naira supplementary budget for 2023. Labour candidates urges court to nullify Kalu's election for admitting conviction for fraud. Other stories this very morning, you'd also want to read about CSO's coalition undertakes project to promote citizen legislative promotion. Kogi CJ assures that digitalization of administration of justice will be achieved. I'm not interested in the governors of Rivers State, says BK. CBN has 65. Vice President Shetima Cardoso orders to speak at cowries to cashless policy. All right, well, these are just some of those stories here and there as you have it in Nigerian Pilot for today. The Guardian newspaper also provides insight into some of their stories from our national space for today. Navy condones vandalized pipeline, prevents fire, oil theft in Ijegun. Court orders EFCC to release Emefiele. CBN begins settlement of forex forwards as Nigeria rebounds. Naira crisis threatens Nigeria's 12 trillion naira poultry subsector. Corruption, defiance to laws, cost investors 1 trillion naira in property loss. It is safer individuals diversity investment across jurisdictions. Experts urge tax reforms in real estate to boost home ownership. Fubara, Wike's tango, rekindles politics of godfatherism in Rivers. IGP affirms readiness for weekend's off-cycle election. NDDC urges opposition leaders to work with Tinubu on nation building. Alhambra partners ICT firm on digital skills program. Corruption, the fires to laws, cost investors 1 trillion naira in property loss. Ikeja Electric marks 10 years of operation, lists achievements. Adelabu crash landing in Ibadan Airport raises fresh concern on illegal charter operators. Federal government unveils CNG conversion center in Kaduna. NDLEA seizes 13 billion naira illicit drugs in Lagos raid. Work resumes on 3rd Mainland Bridge today. Motorists urged to cooperate. All right, moving away from The Guardian, now to Daily Trust for today. DNA revealed all my 4 children belong to another father, Oshuman. Poor quality graduates mobilized for youth service, says NYSC DG. Step-by-step guide on how to hold politicians accountable. That's according to a few people. Okay, well, I think that's one of the top stories in the Daily Trust for today. Devaluation pushes Nigeria's debt to 89.2 trillion naira. Jigawa monarch rapes, infects girl with HIV. Wow, that's a mouthful now. Jigawa monarch rapes, infects girl with HIV. Permit me to read a little bit about this story. The village head of Dan Gulam in Gwaram, LGA of Jigawa State, Umar Ibrahim, has been accused of raping, impregnating, and infecting a girl with HIV. This was contained in a letter dated October 16, 2023, to the Secretary of Dutse Emirates Council by the Senior State Council in Jigawa State of Ministry of Justice, Kabiru Abdullahi, with the title Notification of Arraignment of Umar Ibrahim, village head of Dan Gulam, on the offense of rape, contrary to Section 31, subsection 1, A and D of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition, that's VAP Law 2021. The letter read in part, and it says, I've been directed by the Attorney General of Jigawa State to write and notify Your Highness that a complaint of rape and infection with HIV was lodged at the office of the Attorney General by one Yawa Muhammad, in which he alleged that Umar Ibrahim, village head of Dangulam, engaged his daughter in an illegal sexual intercourse, which resulted to her pregnancy and infected her with HIV. Upon receiving the complaint, parties were invited, and in the course of discussion with the Attorney General, Umar Ibrahim revealed that he had filed a case of defamation against the girl, her father, and one Sule Umaru of Dangulam village before the Upper Sharia Court in Guram. The Attorney General directed for the case at the Upper Sharia Court Guram to be taken over, and all parties were referred to the CID in Dutse for investigation. After the investigation by the CID, the case diary was sent to the Ministry of Justice for legal advice. The legal advice was given, and it revealed prima facie case of criminal conspiracy and rape were made against Umar Ibrahim, who, to the Attorney General's greatest dismay, is the village head of Dangulam in Guram, LGA. In view of the above fact, that it will soon be arraigned before a court. It is based on the foregoing fact that the Attorney General directed me to write and notify Your Highness of the position of the case for appropriate steps to be taken. All right, I just have to take interest in that. I'm going to make an attempt not to make any comment on this because, sometimes when it comes to these issues, people misinterpret things. But come on. Okay, Femi, self-control here. All right, Oyo, Andres rally for Gaza. Visa racketeer lands in prison. Okay. Other stories. Despite huge investment, federal government's power plants remains dormant. UN chief outrage over Israeli attack on hospital convoy. Other stories still with Daily Trust for today. You'd also find Jai's Bank declares 73% PBT in 9 months of 2023. Akpabio's ex-chief of staff appointed as a Akwa Ibom Rec, not APC member. Will Akpote's victory alter permutations for Kogi Guba poll? You'd also find of interest less than 10% of $700 million trapped funds paid, says foreign airlines. Lightning kills 3 students while playing football in Anambra State. Tinubu pledges to prioritize tertiary education in Nigeria. All right, well, away from Daily Trust, let's round off with Leadership newspaper and the stories they provide there. I'm just going to touch on this very quickly. Contradictory judgment in Plateau worries stakeholders. Climate change poses grave risk to Nigeria, Agora policy. Sporting KC knockouts in Louis City SC in MLS playoffs. Dangote repatriates 687,977 million from Pan-African operators. 42 Brayans, 32,000 arrested in 34 months, according to NDLEA in their drug war. Rumble over House Appropriation Committee membership. 20 bodies recovered in Taraba boat mishap. PDP rejects cleared electoral officer. PDP Cuba candidate condemns attack on Nigeria. Akali, Unkuli, others left us over high-handedness. NAPP. All right, well, Rivers crisis beyond our party, says PDP governor. All right, these are leading stories as we have them across the papers for today. Do remember they've been published under the editorial guide of various publishers, and we on Nigeria Info have only informed you of the headlines as we have them for today.
This is Morning Crossfire. Watch your #1 talk station of the nation. Nigeria Info every day of the week, Mondays to Friday on YouTube to catch up with the Morning Crossfire.
This is Femi D Live.
This is Morning Crossfire.
We'd like to take your course this very morning. Follow through with our editorial guide. Your course needs to be devoid of hateful speech, lies, fake news, and abuses. We ask of you to be truthful and factual as you share with us on Nigeria Info. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Nigeria Info ABJ. Okay, so you can feel free to join in through those platforms. The numbers remain 0700 9510000. You can also join in on 080-9597-4869. Good morning to you.
I am not interested in the government of Rivers State. Why do you demand?
What's your name? What is your name, please?
This is Sam calling.
All right, Sam.
Sam.
Okay.
I'm not interested in the government of Rivers State, but you are demanding for 25%. If you are not interested, why demand for 20%?
All right, well, that's Sam's view to that. Good morning to you.
Hi, Prof. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
You?
Very well.
My name is Mommy calling you from Buhari.
Welcome, Momizi.
Yes, dear. How's Madam, sir?
She's doing well.
You reported that people are selling their cars, motor, vehicle, machine to two bodies sold together. Yes. Some can no more maintain the vehicle, but they need that vehicle. I have a friend that bought a Jeep, 50-something million naira. And he got another vehicle, 1-something million. He called it removal of subsidy vehicle. That removal of subsidy vehicle is the one he's using to take children to school everywhere. But if he's going for engagement, he will need that big vehicle. You know why? In this country, unlike UK, anything you put on, whether say there's stonewash, they will also welcome you. But in this part of the world, there are certain things you come with, they will grade you based on what you come with. So he's having two vehicles that It's so difficult to maintain the big one. Packing it 1 week alone.
Okay.
Where the children's play.
Mm.
Dr. Femi, what is the way forward? How do we survive? Finally, the issue of DNA that you talked about, I want to ask my fellow men, why do some men love sleeping with married women and without protecting self? If you say the woman is giving, she's ready to give in, why do you do it? If another man should do it to you, how would you feel? You father 4 children in another man's house, and you can sleep in your own house. Dr. Femi, you no time to analyze this issue. It's not good.
All right. Thank you, madam. I'm grateful to you. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show. Good morning. All right. Well, let me keep up with the other calls. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Femi D. Amale. How are you? How are your lovely family?
Very well. Thanks for asking.
My name is Abakar calling you from Gwagwalada. I greet Momizi. I greet all Nigerian listeners and callers home and abroad. UN strive hungry over Israeli attack on a hospital convoy. All known humanitarian laws in the wide world have been violated in Gaza. Humanitarian crisis escalation is unimaginable. I don't know the use of United Nations. They must stop that humanitarian escalation in Gaza, where all human beings forget about religious ideologies of any part.
Okay.
We must give regard to human life, the value, the dignity of human life. It's a sorry state. Thank you.
Thank you. Matthew J. Doko Matthew says, good morning, FMD. Opening K. Paul Fitzgerald on Facebook says, good morning, FMD. 3 children were killed by lightning in Anambra. It's unfortunate. May God console their families in this tough time. Dan Kagan writes in his watching from Life Camp. It says, good morning. Antonio Melogu says, Nigeria, which way out? He also says, Dr. Femdi, how is your loved one watching from Niger State? Thank you so much, dear friend. Mwazi John Lassese says, police ready for this weekend election. They should focus on Kogi and make sure it's free and fair. Victory must go to whoever wins the race, okay? Also, Francis says, Wike should allow his successor, Fubara, to concentrate and serve his people without any unnecessary interference. Conservatism should be resisted outrightly to save the image of our democracy. May God help us. Also, Francis from Amagunze in Enugu State. Dr. Mrs. Olebara also joins and she says, the economic situation of the country is nothing to write home about. Women are really feeling the heat. Men who don't go to market will not appreciate what we pass through to put food on the table. Please don't provoke your wife. This is the time she needs all the support and pampering. A woman's ability to manage effectively the little money her husband gives her makes a virtuous woman in this recession we are in. Well, it's a good narrative, but the question then is, the man who brings the money as well, who will pamper him? Everybody needs pampering now. There's no gender in economic hardship. There's no gender in economic hardship. I would tell you that everybody needs pampering right now. So if he's able to bring you some more money to manage, the place is bringing it too needs to be pampered on how he's going through the things he's going through in getting it out. So everybody needs pampering. That's the outright truth. Okay, when I do come back after the break, I'd love to take more calls as well. The Imo State governor describes the efforts of the NLC president as not unionism, as getting involved in politics. It makes it clear. There's also some other things you want to know about. Former President Obasanjo clears the air about what we are doing with our governance and democracy as we would have it. Yat. It's not for the president. At least that's what the Minister of Budget talks about. Stay with me. Right here on Nigeria Info 95.1. There's more to understand. As the story builds up, you'll realize nothing breaks the news like the news itself.
The Morning Crossfire continues after this.
This is Nigeria Info.
Cancer 35.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1. and I'm Femi D. Amele. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
This is Nigeria Info News.